Gordon Thomson, welcome to the Live from the Heartland microphone again.
Hello, Chicago. Great to be back in the Red Line Tap.
Now they're calling it, they don't know quite what they're calling it yet. It's the Heartland Bar, the Buffalo Bar, I think it's going to be called.
Well, needless to say, I was a bartender here in this locale.
He was a champion of overpouring.
That's why you fired me, Michael. Thank you very much.
All right, well, Gordon is a renowned track coach. He worked with Olympic athletes in development. He worked with Nike. He was the coach at Loyola with a lot of All-Americans. He went to DePaul. He went to Clemson. He went to St. Francis. He's been around. He's coaching back in his own high school and living with his folks.
I am a public school teacher now. And you're
making more money than you did as a big shot coach.
No, a public school teacher. And the last guest had something really phenomenal to say about how they fund public education. It's through property taxes nationwide. There has got to be a better model to fund public schools than through property taxes, because every year there's a new referendum. And property owners are absolutely sick of getting jammed up to fund what they think are schools that are pie in the sky.
Well, one of the things you would like to know about is that the Chicago, through the Park District, is finally building on the south side an indoor track facility.
Yes, I've read about that, but the location, very poor location. It's going to serve not the whole city, it's going to serve just that neighborhood. So this is really a big deal for the city of Chicago to have an indoor facility. Right now, University of Chicago has the only one within the city limits, and they're overserved, overused, and abused, and they've been very gracious host for many, many years.
Real quickly, Gordon, last time you were on, last June, that would be in 2016, you predicted, probably the first sports guy to predict it anywhere, that Russia would be out of the Olympics, and it came to bear.
Yes, because I know that their doping program starts right at the top of the country with Vladimir Putin, and believe it or not, he has got his hands on just about everything within the country, and he sanctioned state-ordered doping for all sports, not just track and field. Track and field was the smartest sport to eliminate the country as a whole, and swimming welcomed them in, wrestling welcomed them in, and so forth. But track and field banned them.
What about swimming, Gordo? There's a lot of news about swimming, and what do you got to tell us about that?
We just had a world championships in swimming. We got a whole new megastar in swimming. Do you remember Mark Spitz? He was our first megastar back in the 70s, 5 gold medals. Then we had Mark Phelps with a megastar, 7 gold medals. And now we've got this new hotshot, Caleb Dressel from my alma mater, University of Florida. And he is now the hotshot. Just 2 weeks ago in Hungary, he won 7 gold medals at this championship. He's a combined butterfly sprinter and freestyle sprinter. So interestingly, at the World Swimming Championships, they've done something brand new that's elevated the attention, and that's a mixed gender relay. Men and women.
The first.
The first, and it's like, okay, we've been competing in athletics and track and field and swimming, and it's like, hello, welcome to reality of humanity. Get both genders competing together. And then there's increase in strategy tactics between countries of where you put your swimmers. Do you go male, male, then woman, woman, or do you go male, woman, male? You know, it's really interesting strategy-wise. So we have the mixed relays for the first time, and U.S. dominated. Of course, we've got more swimming pools than anywhere else in the world. So. Yes, so Caleb Dressel, 7 gold medals, and the 2 mixed relays, the 4x100 and 4x100 medley. He's a butterfly guy and a freestyle guy.
Gordon, any highlights from the currently ongoing World Track and Field Championships?
Yeah, in track and field right now in London, we have the World Championships, which is really better than the Olympic Games because the Olympic Games is full of politics and really nationality. All the nations come to the forefront. But when the World Championships, it's really individuals and teams. So right now is the World Track and Field Championships in London, and this is the last reign of God's gift to sprinting, Usain Bolt. God's gift to sprinting, the world's fastest human, the ability to just move your body faster than any other human across the 100 meters or 200 meters. He's got the world records in both, and he came to defend his world championship in 100 meters and was beat by an older guy, by 5 years older, our American, Justin Gatlin, whooped up on him. Now, Justin has served a suspension for drugs, but he was really kind of trumped up. His first drug offense was for attention deficit disorder drug that his doctor didn't put on the form. He legitimately could have passed that test if his doctor just put that drug on his medical form, but it was omitted.
I'm going to fire a couple more questions at you. Gordon, give us a little report on the beer mile championships going on.
Get right back to the World Track and Field Championships first, because Venezuela is doing something that Venezuela's hurting big time right now, and that's all we see is bad news out of Venezuela. Venezuela is represented in the World Track Championships, and they're on the medal board. They won the women's triple jump, and they got a bronze medal in the high jump. So hey, they're on
first time.
They're doing something phenomenal down there. There's some good mojo in Venezuela for something. Right now, also in London, is maybe attracting a little bit more attention than the World Track Championship is the World Beer Mile, Tom.
Yeah.
This
Tell
is
us about
4 laps and 4 beers. You drink a beer, run a lap. Drink a beer, run a lap. Over 4 laps in a complete mile.
Probably get about 2 of those done.
And if you do regurgitate or vomit during the process, then you got to run a penalty lap. So it's key to
Talking
holding.
about regurgitation, why is this quarterback Kaepernick not hireable?
Well, he didn't set himself up well with his own performance, his last performances under Chip Kelly at San Francisco.
So it's okay if you abuse your girlfriend or do drugs or other things, but if you stand up politically, you're persona non grata?
You've hit it on the head. There is more acceptance for spouse abuse and drug abuse than there is for just taking a stand.
I mentioned this the morning after we had a white rally, White Lives Matter, and you can't get rid of us yet at the University of Virginia last night.
Yep.
It's going on today, too. People ought to come out and counter-protest, all you people listening over there on the Eastern Shore, et cetera.
Have faith, though, in Kaepernick. He will be playing in the NFL this season. Because there's going to be attrition at the quarterback position. Always is. These guys get banged up big time. And someone's going to go down, numerous superstars are going to go down, and they're going to need them.
In our remaining minute, what do you think of the increased attention to the lifelong impact these football players are finding with brain injury?
Pretty scary, both for their personal health and for our nation's attention to this sport. This is our big mega sport. Baseball was our national sport before in the 30s and 50s. Now it's football because of contact. Contact is what people want to see, but the damage that's done is unbelievable. This is the big time thing that is kids football. Little League and little Babe Ruth, all that stuff has got to be disbanded. And really at the high school level too. When these minds and brains, the cranial's not yet formed. So you got to protect the head, and they got to do better with equipment as well as the helmets.
You've been hearing from Live in the Heartland sport reporter Gordon Thomson. Thank you so much for your insights again. Let's have a little bit of garden music as we get ready for our next segment. Dan, could you take it away downtown?